Garp is super strong, but he acts like a big scaredy cat. See, he really wanted his family in the Navy and pushed Dragon to join. But when Dragon realized how mean the world government was, he rebelled. Also, Garp tried to make Luffy and Ace to become Navy soldiers too, but they became pirates instead. Garp was as strong as Gold D. Roger, yet he didn't do much with it. He saw awful things, like slaves suffering, but never did a thing. Even though he hated the bad stuff, he still stuck with the corrupt side. Knowing about the world government's sneaky ways and how they mess with people, Garp still sided with them. That's why he's the worst elder to follow. I thought he might change after Ace died, but he didn't. It's clear, he's too scared to go against the government. Now a question for you guys, how Luffy get his X mark scar on his chest? What's the coolest type of devil fruit? Well, for me, the mythical ones are the most awesome and flashy. Let's talk about 5 really powerful ones. At number 5, we have the dog fruit, model, Okochi no Makami. It's more than just a regular devil fruit, it gives the user ice powers and the ability to turn into a divine wolf. Next up, at number 4, is the bird fruit, model, Phoenix. It's extraordinary because it lets the user become a majestic phoenix with fire and rebirth abilities. Coming in at number 3 is the human fruit, model, Buddha. This one makes Sengoku really strong and tough. It gives him huge strength, toughness, and the ability to become almost invulnerable. Number 2 is the fish fruit, model, Sarayu. This turns Kaido into a powerful dragon. It allows the user to transform into a dragon, controlling fire, lightning, and wind. And finally, at number 1, the human fruit, model, Nika. It's currently the strongest known devil fruit in the series. It gives Luffy the power to do anything he can imagine physically. Have you ever wondered why did Kuma send Luffy to Amazon Lily? There were safer places for Luffy to go. Amazon Lily might not have been the best choice, especially for a male to train there. They'd likely refuse Luffy for specific reasons. One safer place I thought of was Dragon's Base, but maybe Kuma didn't know about it back then. It's not that he couldn't find it, he didn't want to risk exposing his memories to the world government. Another reason might be that Kuma knew about Boa Hancock's past as a slave and that Luffy had stood up against the Celestial Dragons. He might have thought Luffy could convince Boa to help him, especially since Amazon Lily is full of people who understand hockey. Everyone in Amazon Lily already knew about hockey. Another reason is that the Marines weren't allowed there at that time because Boa was a warlord. It could have been a way to keep Luffy away from the Marines, especially after what happened in Sabaody, where Luffy disrespected the Celestial Dragons and even punched one. Amazon Lily's proximity to Sabaody would also make it easier for Rayleigh to reach there and teach Luffy. Let's talk about who's stronger between Mihawk and Shanks. One of them has the strongest haki ever and Shanks has a high status among the Yonko, while the Mihawk is known as the best swordsman in the series. Before Shanks lost his arm, Mihawk and Shanks were seen as equals in sword fighting, but after Shanks lost his arm, Mihawk didn't want to fight him anymore, thinking it wouldn't be fair. This suggests Mihawk might be better in a sword fight, but looking at the bigger picture, Shanks seems much stronger. Even with one arm, he's incredibly powerful, using his haki to impact an admiral miles away. Although we haven't seen Shanks to go all out, the way things ended in Marineford tells us a lot about his strength. Now a question for you all, how did Shanks lost his arm? When CP0 gets moving, Cipher Paul is super important to the government for getting info and taking out people. But why only 8 out of 10 Cipher Paul groups are official? Well, let's dig in. Cipher Paul recruits start training as early as a kid, getting super tough in fighting and getting their minds sharp for missions. After training, they join one of the 8 units. The number of their unit shows how good they are and how tough their missions will be. Higher numbers mean more strength and skill. Cipher Paul agents have a license to kill innocent civilians or even Marines if they have to. They can handle small-time pirates, but they can't touch the 4 emperors. CP9 got shut down after losing to the Straw Hats. CP0, the strongest unit, is for the world nobles only. Now a question for you all, what is the name of this character? Is East Blue truly the weakest sea in One Piece? I doubt it makes sense. Let me explain. Mihawk claimed East Blue as the weakest, but when we compare its legends to other seas, it seems like a bluff. This sea houses the greatest pirate and the strongest marine ever known. In contrast, the other seas seem less impressive. West Blue produced only 2 notable pirates, Shanks and Diamond Jozu. North Blue was home to Ben Beckman, Kizaru, and Akainu. South Blue's notable individuals include Sengoku, Kuzan, and Kid. So, why did Oda call East Blue the weakest sea? I have 2 reasons. Firstly, East Blue sends fewer pirates to the Grand Line, which makes sense. Smoker in Logtown made it tough for pirates unfamiliar with hockey to face a Logia-type devil fruit. Even Luffy needed help to beat him. Secondly, it's to give the Straw Hats an underdog vibes. I'm not sure why, but it seems like a good idea created by Oda. Now a question for you all. What is the name of this admiral? Pirates are really strong, no doubt. But can they beat the world government? I don't think so. Don't agree? Here are 4 reasons why the world government is super strong right now. Firstly, the Marines are tough. Fleet admirals like Akainu and 3 admirals are so strong they can take on a Yonko by themselves. And there are old legends like Garp, Sengoku, and Kong who will show up in any crisis. Secondly, the Gorosei shouldn't be underestimated. We just saw Saint Saturn's weird powers, and all 5 of these elders are as strong as a Yonko, which is bad news for pirates. Plus, there's Saint Figureland, rumored to have scarred Whitebeard at God Valley. Thirdly, there's Emu, who seems immortal and has incredible powers, probably with a powerful weapon called Uranus. Emu's powers are really strange and strong. Lastly, the world government works together perfectly. Their strength is in their unity. But pirates just do what they want, thinking about their own interests. Now a question for you all. What is the name of this character? Did you know that the Cross Guild is going to be a big problem for the Marines in One Piece? It's a new group formed by Dracula, Mihawk and Sir Crocodile. They joined forces because Mihawk didn't want to be lonely anymore. To make it work, they needed help from Buggy the Star Clown, who ended up taking over the organization. This group's goal is to put bounties on Marine officers, just like the government does for pirates. It's causing a lot of trouble for the Marines because now they have to be careful not only around pirates but also around regular people and bounty hunters. Cross Guild is really strong because it's led by Mihawk, Crocodile, and Buggy, who's one of the Emperor of the Seas. Oh, and about Fleet Admiral Akainu, I wonder how much bounty they'll put on his head? Share your thoughts below in the comments section. Why do I feel like Sanji doesn't get enough credit in the Straw Hat crew? Well, he's part of the strong trio alongside Zoro and is almost as powerful as him. Sanji showed bravery by leaving the crew to protect them from the Big Mom pirates, risking his own dreams to save Luffy's dream. He doesn't get as much attention mainly because he has less time in the spotlight compared to Zoro. Oda intentionally focused more on Zoro. Even though Zoro might be a little bit stronger, Sanji brings something unique to the table: the ability to stop Luffy from making bad choices. Throughout the series, Sanji hardly steers Luffy wrongdoing. He doesn't just blindly follow Luffy's orders, which is crucial for being a great crewmate. Without someone like Sanji to prevent Luffy from acting impulsively, it could cause a lot of trouble. Sanji's role in keeping Luffy in check is essential. Now a question for you all. What is the name of this character? Did you know that the Straw Hats are the only crew known to escape a dangerous buster call? But what is a buster call in One Piece? When the world government's pride and existence are threatened, they order a buster call, a severe move by the Marines. Only top Marine officers, like fleet admirals or admirals, can authorize a buster call. It involves 5 vice admirals leading 10 warships, aiming for complete annihilation. The goal is to wipe out islands or organizations seen as threats to the world government. During a buster call, Marines spare no one, even innocent women and children. They eliminate everyone. Even the former Admiral Akiji was shocked by its brutality. In One Piece history, only 2 buster calls were ordered. The first aimed to destroy the scholars of Ohara, who could read poneglyphs about the Void Century. Nico Robin was the only survivor. The second was near the end of the Enies Lobby arc, targeting Enies Lobby to stop Nico Robin from escaping, as she was the sole survivor of the previous buster call. Have you ever wondered if the Marines have enough force now to stop the pirates? Can they beat powerful enemies like the 4 emperors like Shanks? Let me tell you the top 5 strongest Marines are right now. At number 5, Kizaru is incredibly fast, moving as quick as light itself. He's skilled in armament and observation haki, along with an outstanding devil fruit power, making him a tough opponent. Number 4 is Sengoku, known for his wisdom and strength. He commands with authority and can transform into a mighty force with his devil fruit power. His strategic mind makes facing him a big challenge. Taking the 3rd spot is Kong, previously the big boss and now holding the highest authority as the world government's commander-in-chief. He showed his strength as the fleet admiral during the era of powerful figures like Roger and Rox. At number 2 is Akainu, wielding magma as his weapon. His volcanic power burns anyone who opposes him. With strong determination, he changes the battlefield into ashes. And topping the list at number 1 is Garp, considered the strongest Marine ever. With a kind heart and powerful fists, he's a force to be feared. Did you know that Shanks felt he is responsible for Roger's death? Here's why. Roger discovered Shanks in a treasure chest. He is expecting to find the Nika fruit on the chest, but instead, he found a child. It's likely that the Nika fruit was actually the One Piece. When Roger returned from Laugh Tale, Shanks inquired about the journey, and Roger revealed something that deeply moved Shanks. Some may think Shanks cried because he couldn't see One Piece for himself, but I believe it's because Roger discovered he wasn't the true Pirate King. The real Pirate King was Joy Boy, and the next one would be chosen by the Nika fruit. This realization left Roger with nothing more to accomplish, and he didn't want to succumb to illness. Instead, he paved the way for the next Joy Boy. When Shanks found the Nika fruit and Luffy consumed it, Shanks understood that the devil fruit had chosen Luffy. He recalls Roger's words during that day, and he believed this kid might become the true Pirate King, which is why he sacrificed his arm to protect Luffy. Now a question for you all. What is the name of this character? Did you know that Kaido was way stronger than Luffy in Wano arc? But guess what? Luffy's still able to defeat Kaido. Some people might call it plot armor, but the real game changer was Luffy's unveiling his ace move. He awakened his devil fruit at the best possible time. Now, what's this devil fruit awakening all about? Well, it's when a user unlocks and taps into the full potential of their devil fruit. However, the condition vary depending on the fruit type. Paramecia users affect their surrounding, Zoan gets new transformation, and while for Logia, it's still a mystery how it works. Kaido spilled the beans about awakening, saying it can be unlocked when the devil fruit user's brain catches up to the fruit's powers. But here's the kicker, out of the 207 known devil fruits, only 7 have been confirmed to have hit that awakened state. Now a question for you all, how Kaido get his devil fruit? Have you ever wondered why Luffy doesn't kill his enemies in One Piece? Oda shared an interesting reason in an SBS. According to him, the ultimate punishment for his enemies is to defeat them and crush their dreams. For Luffy, destroying dreams is worse than death. After defeating his foes, he leaves them alive but without their dreams. This makes Luffy a true pirate king, causing his enemies to suffer even more than if they were dead. Considering Luffy's stance on not killing his enemies, it raises a question about whether Kaido might still be alive. I'll leave this mystery for you and share your thoughts about this below. Have you ever wondered if Kaido had awakened his devil fruit during his battle with Luffy's Gear 5th? Would the outcome be the same? Let's explore that. Imagine Kaido survived Luffy's final hit, falling into a pool of lava. At the brink of death, his devil fruit awakens, granting him incredible regeneration. Once fully healed, Kaido, now at his prime, doesn't even need to carry on Onigashima. He's completely regenerated and free, while Luffy is exhausted after using all his strength and Budgerung. Even if Luffy manages to get back up with some meat and remains in Gear 5th, he's still no match for an awakened and prime Kaido. Considering Luffy struggled against an admiral like Kizaru, and Kaido is undoubtedly stronger, the odds are heavily in Kaido's favor. This might be why Oda chose not to give Kaido an awakening, to avoid making the battle too one-sided and maintaining the suspense in the story. Have you ever thought about what if One Piece isn't as mind-blowing as everyone expects? Take a look to Luffy's Gear 5th, for example. It was so hyped up that even if it was awesome, some folks still found it disappointing. People who didn't know about Gear 5th thought it would be a classic rage-fueled power-up, like in typical shonen anime. Some of my friends even went on a social media hiatus to avoid spoilers. But when Gear 5th turned out different from what they imagined, they started hating on it and spreading negativity. And trust me, the hype around Gear 5th is nothing compared to the hype of the big One Piece reveal. How do you think fans would react to that? I can bet that, no matter how unique the ending is, there will always be fans who end up disappointed. It's not their fault, the hype is just too much to live up to. Personally, what I love most about One Piece is its mix of adventure, surprising revelations, and epic battles. Even if the treasure turns out to be a joke, like the journey and friends made along the way, I'd still love One Piece. Share your thoughts on this below. Did you know that there is a big debate about One Piece being underwater is like the ultimate mystery roller coaster? People are all hyped up, thinking nobody could reach it because it's underwater. Some even claim Shanks didn't want devil fruit users on his crew because of this. But hey, hold your horses, my take on it might blow your mind. I'm here thinking, even if One Piece is chilling underwater, it doesn't mean it's a no-go zone. Check this out, normal people can't breathe underwater, right? So, we'd all need those awesome bubbles we saw folks using to hit up Fishman Island. These bubbles can even hook up devil fruit users, making them ocean floor ready. So, being underwater doesn't automatically mean devil fruit users are out of the game. Now, some say Buggy went sick when Roger's crew was close Laugh Tale, hinting that devil fruit users got feeling unwell when they are close to One Piece. But guess what? The final island's image in the series doesn't scream underwater fun. Still, mysteries are raining down like confetti, and we're just here, eagerly waiting for answers. Have you ever wondered why I think Zoro isn't dumb? Well, let me tell you why. Zoro might seem like a no-brainer, but he's actually pretty sharp. People might talk about his bad sense of direction, but trust me, that's just a small hiccup. And during the Water 7 arc, for example, when Usopp left the crew, Zoro wasn't about to let him back in until he apologized to Luffy. Now, that's not something a clueless person would do. It shows Zoro's got a mature head on his shoulders, understanding the importance of respecting the captain's orders, and it's not a one-time thing. Zoro might not be a genius, but he knows what he's up to. When Luffy says something, it's like the gospel for him. Even if it sounds a bit foolish, Zoro sticks to his word. That's why he's the favorite Straw Hat character for everyone, no matter what the others say. Now a question for you all. What is the name of Zoro's old friend? Did you know that Ace never really hated his dad, Gold Roger? In the series, he often dissed his dad, even saying he didn't see him as family. Whitebeard was the only one he considered a father. But, truth bomb, Ace only said those things to trick himself into thinking he didn't care about his old man. It was his way of avoiding the harsh truth that his dad ditched him and his mom to play hero with the Marines and die like a fool. Ace knew his dad cared and loved him because he named him after his own sword. So, all those mean words from Ace were just him trying to pretend Roger wasn't his real dad. Now a question for you all. What is the name of this character?